Hey folks, this is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. I am on my way home. Operational review day 1 in the books. For me anyway. Going home. You probably noticed I have not been here very often on this on this channel. There's a reason. I have been busy. I have been busy getting ready for this operational review, making 100% sure that we're right. I was tasked with doing that. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, because it gives me an opportunity to see processes that a captain normally doesn't get to see. And it's wow, there's a lot of processes that a captain normally doesn't get to see, and there's certainly a lot of processes that a correctional officer, the average correctional officer, a dormitory officer, i.e., etc., whatever you want to say, doesn't really get to see all that often. And I had an officer that is going to be working with me during the audit, and she is relatively new. She's just got just over a year behind her, and she is really getting her eyes opened. And that makes me happy that somebody is that willing to jump in and learn. Because that's what it is, folks. Operational review. People are coming in and reviewing our methodology and our operations to make sure we're doing it right. So, as a correctional officer coming into the business, you're told, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and do this. You know, just to give you an example, you're told you must search at least 5 inmates per dorm per shift. At least 5 inmates per dorm per shift. That's what we want you to do. Now you're thinking, okay, I've got to go out and search 5 inmates per dorm per shift because that's my job. Because that's my job. I have to go out and I have to search these many inmates because I was ordered to do so. Because it's in my post orders to do so. Because it's in the procedure that I do so. I haven't noticed too many people willing to say, you need to go search at least 5 inmates in every dorm, every day, so that we can meet the minimum requirement of searching 25% of our population, however much your percent is, whatever the percentage is, searching this percentage of our population every month, institution-wide. So there's requirements for that, folks. You have to search so many staff members coming in. You have to search so many inmates. You have to conduct drills, a bunch of drills. Sorry about that, folks. You got to search a bunch of drills. Oh, you got to conduct a bunch of drills. You got to conduct a bunch of this. You got to conduct a bunch of that. There's parts of the job, and it all stems back to this is what we're required to do. Why are we required to do it? Okay. Why do we search inmates? I've done a video on why we search inmates before. To reduce the amount of contraband that we have in our facilities. That's why we search inmates. Okay. So the operational review is of the utmost importance to make sure that our operational procedures are where they're supposed to be. And a captain doesn't get to see that very often, but he does get to see that far more often than does a correctional officer in dormitory. So I think it's good. It's good. Whenever we're coming up with these audits, get with your supervisor. Say, hey, I'd like to participate in this. I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this process. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why we do things. This guy will work with you. Most of our supervisors will work with you. Every one of our chiefs will work with you. And by God, our warden's on board. But more than that, it'll help you. It'll help you. It'll 100% help you. Okay? Folks, I will post more tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm home. Day 1 is behind me. Day 2 comes up next. We'll see what happens. As always, folks, there is no such place for domestic violence in this world. We don't need it. I don't have a place for it. I personally have seen the damage domestic violence can do. I have had a very, very, very close friend of mine commit suicide, or a close friend of my family commit suicide because she felt that was the only way out. Don't do that to anybody. Don't do that to somebody you love. If you love somebody, remember it shouldn't hurt. Love shouldn't hurt. If love hurts, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Love, it requires work. It does require work. It's a give and take. But if it hurts, you're doing something wrong. If you feel the need to batter somebody, you're doing it wrong. You're doing something wrong. Okay? So, if you are the victim of domestic violence, or you know the victim of domestic violence, remember 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-7233 is the domestic violence hotline. The people at the other end of that phone call have the tools, abilities, and resources to help the victims of domestic violence. Now, if you know the aggressor in a domestic violence situation, the absolute worst thing you can do is nothing. Say something to somebody. And if you are the aggressor in a domestic violence situation, there is help for you too. First thing you've got to do is understand that you need it. And the next thing you got to do is ask for it. Folks, love shouldn't hurt. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. And yes, that applies to more than a physical confrontation. It comes down to making sure we're doing the job right. I am my brother's keeper, and I am my sister's keeper. This is David Smith at Correctional Officer Lifestyle. Folks, I will see you in the next video. Y'all be safe.